Join us as psychic medium Miriam Farish reads some of the most intriguing paranormal videos online. Hear why these particular videos were chosen and what information Miriam received as she saw them for the first time.
Okay, so it's this video.
Whoa, what just happened?
Welcome to Behind the Hauntings. Well, you guys have seen some of our videos. You have experienced the paranormal activity, but you haven't seen what happens before we ever hit record. I'm Miriam. As you know, I'm a psychic medium, and Harlow is our intuitive researcher. So today you're going to see two videos that Harlow picked off of our TikTok page. And one of them has, doesn't Lizzie Borden have like 6 million views? Or
It does.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's over 6 million.
All right, so today we're going to look at, you said Lizzie Borden, and then another one where a baby carriage is moving like a lot.
Yes.
We're going to first play for you guys the Lizzie Borden video. We'll see you on the other side.
We can do whatever we want. Hey guys. So we are staying at the Lizzie Borden house, and we're the only people here. I don't know why nobody else has booked any rooms, because when I went to go book rooms, I couldn't book anyone but the one I was in. How does this happen? This is scary. I don't want to stay here by myself. How is this legal? And I think there's only help here till midnight, according to that sign.
Lizzie Borden, still there, follows people around. So she was following them around. She was right behind the girl with the camera, and every now and then will like tap the shoulder of the whoever stays there to see if they can feel her. She doesn't want to interact. She's very stoic. She's like very traditional, like what you would see in the movies, like just a white gown and just like a white nightgown and no expression, no life behind her eyes, just like somber and scary looking, honestly. She doesn't have any feelings, like she doesn't feel anything. And she just follows people around when they stay there. Not to do anything, just follows them. This room, that right in the corner there, man, I don't think he has anything to do with this house, but he has unalived people a lot. He's like has suspenders on, and I swear it's like he's eating, like just standing there leaning against the wall eating something, just like eating, which he's obviously not eating, but that's the gesture. And he has suspenders connected to his pants with boots. It's a very weird combination. And he has unalived a lot of people, and I don't know how he got there and why he's there, but I would never stay in this house. Harlow, Tell us.
I've seen countless videos and paranormal TV shows about the Lizzie Borden house over the years. This particular video was unique because it wasn't professionally produced. It's a basic handheld phone video of these people doing a walkthrough of the house. You can feel their concerns kind of building as they go. And it's not quite full-blown fear, but an odd, creepy feeling and uncertainty over what they've gotten themselves into. The camera angles kind of add to that eeriness, but so does the energy of the home as you go further and further through it. Certain spots seem to whisper to us as viewers, reminding us of what actually happened there. And according to the comments on the video, even people who didn't know the Lizzie Borden story picked up on the shadows and the unsettling vibe. So I found that really interesting.
Yeah, okay, so tell us, do you have a little bit of memory recall of what is the whole Lizzie Borden thing? I know I've read it, I think twice, and I still don't remember. Someone killed someone, right?
Yes, they found both her parents murdered. They'd been killed with an axe, and brutally so. I think the dad was found on the sofa. Her stepmom was upstairs in the bedroom, and they found the axe still in the house too. And everybody assumed Lizzie had done it because at the time they thought only Lizzie was at the home, potentially maybe the housekeeper. So that's why suspicion fell on her immediately.
And was she ultimately arrested, or?
She was, and she was on trial, and she was acquitted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she chose to stay in that town. But once everything was finished, all the trial and everything, she bought this other house because she didn't want to stay in that house. So she bought this big home, and it's kind of stayed in that town as a, like, screw you to the people who all thought she was guilty. And she lived in that home the rest of her life. Her sister lived with her there for a while also.
Wow.
So that's why there are actually two Lizzie Borden houses. There's the one where she lived with the family where the murders were, and then Maplecroft where she moved to.
Oh, okay. So for anyone that's new, I don't research anything prior as to not, get anything in my head so I can come in really clear. And I don't retain information well. Retain a lot of what I do in my readings. I really don't retain that information. It's not information that I need to keep for any reason. But that's why I asked, remind me, what is this? Because I know I've read it a couple times, but I was actually surprised at how much I felt in this house, because especially with homes that are quote unquote haunted and are like, this home is set up now as a tourist attraction. Right?
I mean, there's an axe and all kinds of, they've got all that stuff set up. It's kind of gruesome, actually.
Yeah. And so a lot of times these homes actually don't have the original spirits in them. They've got other spirits that will jump in and mess with people. And so, the energy of the people coming through these homes really keeps it alive to a certain degree, but not necessarily authentic to who originally lived there. So this was surprising to me that I picked up on her and her, like, sort of, what was the feeling? It was like, not resentful, but irritated, agitated, following these people around. And there was this sense of like purposely making them feel scared in not a fun way, but in sort of a mean way. And, it's not helping her cause any.
Right.
The shitty behavior from her, even in the afterlife, is just not helping her cause. I've done reads before on houses like this, and more often than not, it is not that original person in that home. And unfortunately, as we know, there's spirits that will pretend to behave like they are that person, and everyone wants to believe so much. But in this case, that was her. I think the other person that stood out, and I didn't feel it in the video at the time, but I did when I rewatched it today to refresh my memory on what I said and who was in there. I kept referencing this man in like the overalls and the boots, and he was eating. And even though they're not really eating, but like his presence was really strong in the kitchen. He seemed to be more of a serial type unaliver. And he found his way there because he was already sort of in the business of tormenting people in the afterlife. And this is very common. A lot of the times, the reason for that, now it's different for every individual soul, but for a lot of these souls, it's because they don't want to cross over because they know what they're about to be faced with. They know what they've done. And so they stay purposely and they don't want to leave, but they find a way to kind of amuse themselves in the afterlife. We've seen this a lot um, with homes that have had energies or humans that live there that have done really violent things. This gentleman, because he has unalived a lot of people, he's looking to continue to torment people. So he just finds locations where it's easy to torment people. And this location is one of those. And also, Lizzie Borden's energy is a little dark in itself. So it sort of lends itself to having energies like this gravitate towards this location. And, you know, they really enjoy that. They really enjoy doing that to other people. So I found it fascinating that it got as many views as it did, especially since so many of the people, like you said, maybe didn't even know who Lizzie Borden was.
I think there's a certain appeal to the realism of going, like going through a place with people. It's like you're actually doing it yourself and you get to see and you get to, what you feel while you're doing it. So I think that's why those are popular.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you do feel like you're going on that ride with her. Like versus if there was a tour guide there or a group, like those are always, and those locations can, for me, can be harder to read when they actually like, it's like a video or photo of some, like tour guides and stuff, because it just feels immediately, it's all obviously convoluted with everyone's energy standing there. It just doesn't, yeah, this felt very authentic and just very strange. Isn't it interesting how some stories just don't die?
And it's interesting also that people feel Lizzie and her sister at the other house also.
Yeah.
And they say the sister is the more friendly one and Lizzie is grumpy.
Yeah, she is definitely grumpy. That is and when everyone feels the same thing, I always say I love that so much when everyone feels the same thing, because it's just more proof that something is actually happening in there. Okay, Harlow, what about this video captured your attention?
I like the way Lizzie seems to interact with people, because I know when I watched Kindred Spirits and they went to Maplecroft, which is the house she moved to after the trial, she, I think, legally changed her name to Lisbeth because trying to get a fresh start. So initially they were having trouble connecting with her. When they started calling her Lisbeth, she responded and they got interaction and it was quite interesting. So when you think about people going through that original house, they're only thinking of her as a murderer and they're moving around and they're scared, and that's the energy. So it makes sense she would play into that.
Oh yeah, she does. She feels like she's agitated. She feels like, she wants community, but she also pushes back against the people that are there. Like she doesn't know how to love or be loved. Like I feel like she never was loved or understood love, and so she doesn't know how to show it now. It reminds me of like sort of a feral cat who will just give you moments of like just attention that isn't aggressive and mean.
Well, yeah, you go into Maplecroft, and that's where she was after. But if you go into the other house, that's where she was before, where she was very unhappy, obviously, and a lot of stuff happened. That's where people are just, it's like responding to the town that believed she was terrible. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the atmosphere.
The two times I think you said I've read her, she doesn't want to be moved over. She doesn't want to change anything. And I think I feel like that is because a part of her, like she knows the truth about whether or not she did this, but she feels like she will still be treated like no matter what.
Guilty regardless.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Yeah. And so she's just choosing to stay there like this. I
Mhm.
mean, it'll be interesting if one day a video comes out that comes across you and you are like, I think you should read this. And maybe it's because she may be ready to be moved over. You know, it doesn't have to be me, obviously, that moves her over, but someone else. But she's not even approachable. You know, it's not even like I could approach her and talk to her and tell her like everything will be fine. She's not even approachable. So,
Mhm.
okay. Our next video is this baby carriage. I honestly, I felt like this is one of those videos that I just thought, I've never seen anything like this.
Your response while you were watching it was great.
It was crazy.
Mhm.
Yes, to add to that, I do everything in my power to watch it while I'm recording it and not
Right.
watch it prior.
So it's fresh. Yeah.
WTF did we just see?
What is happening? How is this happening? I have never seen footage like this, this obvious. Okay, this is crazy. Immediately I saw this is someone trying to rob the place, trying to steal this. So I'm seeing this man like in full, like all black and black gloves, like they are professional thieves. And he passed and was unalived in the middle of feels like a bank. He was robbing a bank and he knows he's passed. He doesn't care. He does not want to go the other side. He knows that this life he was not good. So he's perfectly fine. Like I'm like talking to him and he's like, oh no, I'm good. I know what I've done. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, you can't steal that. You are not in a body. What are you doing? That's what he's trying. He's just repeating that behavior. It feels very specific to this location. I'm not feeling him capable of traveling around and going to other locations. Like some spirits are very aware that they can sort of relocate. This guy doesn't know he can relocate. I'm not seeing that he's like stuck in this building, but he's very active in this building. And around in like immediate buildings around it. I'm getting a name like a Jeff or something, a J name. Just under 6 feet, light brown hair, and was part of that community. Like we don't know what time frame. Ironically, even though he was a thief, he felt like he was part of this community. Maybe he wasn't, I'm just guessing now, maybe he wasn't stealing from his immediate community. Maybe he went somewhere else to do his profession and lived there. He's trying to steal this. What is happening? This is like, I've done some weird reads, but this to me, for some reason, is super weird. This is what I want to know.
Okay.
For you, when you saw it, how come you didn't think that's fake? It moves so much. You're like, let me look at my notes.
Okay, so when I first saw the video, my skeptical brain wondered immediately if this vintage English baby pram could be pulled by fishing line, because that would be the first thing you think of if you're used to looking at these videos. But there didn't appear to be any opening on the opposite side, as far as a window or a door directly across from where the baby carriage would be, so someone could be hiding and pulling a line. Because I looked at that specifically, but there do seem to be a few items against the wall on the opposite side, but it doesn't look like there's enough room for anybody to hide or to be able to smoothly keep a line taut and pull evenly as they would have to do to create what we see. So I followed it up by watching other videos from this auction house where it was recorded, and they seemed pretty clearly perplexed by it. And one of the main things I go by, other than could it be fake, could it not, is my reaction, my genuine feel to the people, if they're being sincere or if they feel a little sketchy. So these people actually brought in a psychic because their employees were concerned about what was going on. And the psychic came in. She said, I even brought, a fishing line to test it. And she tested the weight of the baby carriage. She didn't think that was the case. She agreed there was a male spirit there. So that's why I went ahead and brought it to you.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I didn't realize that, or maybe you told me and I forgot. That's really neat.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, but earlier today, someone sent, people send us videos all the time. Thank you. Keep doing that. That's how that's how we're able to do this. But someone had sent a video that was, and she said, what do you think about this? And normally I just say thank you. And I immediately forward to Harlow. I don't even look. But for some reason, I watched this one. I said, this feels fake based off of the gentleman's reaction. The reaction didn't feel authentic to me. So I said, that's, I think I sent it to you anyway, but I said, that's my initial reaction is from him. And so to your point, that's sometimes where we have to go. And that's why a lot of times for those that are familiar with our work, if we have a paranormal Q&A coming up that you guys can submit a question to. And I have you guys send me photos of everybody who lives in the home, including animals, photos of the home. Cause you never know where the information is going to come from. For me, I don't know where it's what's going to trigger. A lot of times an animal will trigger the information, that was the case on that video. But anyway,
a lot of times,
go ahead.
These videos absolutely could be faked. You don't know who else is home. You don't know if there's a TV going, what the sound could, you have to just trust these people. Sometimes there's things you can see that can debunk things, but a lot of times there's not. So you have to go on your gut instinct. And if these people feel genuine.
And then there's AI.
It is.
And this was before AI really took hold. So for me, I was more fascinated with the fact that this was a man who is still trying to rob in the afterlife, still trying to be a thief in the afterlife. What was also strange about him was that he was nice. And I think I remember, I just rewatched it again. I said that he felt like a part of this community. So he may not have been stealing specifically from this community because he felt like he was a part of it and really liked the community. And you really felt that from him. Like he was a nice guy. He was a bank robber, I believe is what was said. And what he's doing in there is what was strange. It was more so of him trying to still be a part of this community that he really liked, that he really loved, that he loved living there. And then he just can't help himself to steal every now and then and was still trying to do it. I've never, correct me if I'm wrong, we've never read anything like that where you're watching a spirit try to steal something.
And it just kept happening a little bit and then it stopped a little bit. And it usually is like something happens or it's like overblown and it's fake. This was just, nobody's watching. I can do it a little more, kind of a thing.
God, it's incredible. And I didn't, the psychic said that there was a male spirit there. I always love when there's corroboration. Like we talk all the time about how you can have two psychics who see the same thing, two psychics that see two very different things, but they're both reading authentically, because so much can be going on in one moment. It's not just one psychic to see. Like she picked up on what was needed and then I added to that and someone else might add more to that. But this was an antique store, you said, right?
It's an auction house.
Oh, it's an auction house. So stuff's old.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff in there.
And because of that, a lot of people assume their spirits attached to these objects. And that is rare. Although we do have a lot of videos that do show genuine attachments, just because an object is old or is an auction house or is an antique shop does not mean there's going to be attachments. So that assumption is like the reason why I don't read up on paranormal information. I don't read up on locations. I don't want that information in my head. I want it to come really clear. And this was one of those cases. He's not attached to the object. He's attached to the community and moves through that space, not just that location, but that entire community. He moves through it and is perfectly happy living there. And he's not bothering anybody. He's not no, I stopped myself. I was about to say he's not capable of really stealing, but I would not put it past him.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
He got real close.
I can only imagine their faces when they look on their CCTV footage, and it's like a 360 pan. They had to like make special adjustments to be able to focus right on that area, and they were like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. But it's crazy how I think out of all the videos we've done, we always tag the original poster, but rarely does anyone respond to us.
I know.
Rarely.
No.
When they do, it's really fun, I think, but rarely do they. I don't know why that is. I think everyone has different reasons, belief systems, and sometimes people don't even see the tags. They don't know. But it's just interesting that it's consistently rare that they respond.
I always wonder if they have their own idea of what it is and they don't want to venture past that, and just different things it can be.
And I think too, we forget. It's like if I watch another psychic, my first reaction is always skepticism too. Like, you're just listening to someone talk. Like, it doesn't mean anything. The only time it means anything is if it resonates on some level, right? So that's why I was saying they had another psychic that said it was a man, and when you go into the comments of our posts, you can also see, like, I mean, maybe 90% to me is not high, but 90% of the time people in the comments are like, I felt the same thing. I felt the same thing. And a lot of them can build on what I said. Yeah. And then there was this. And I love that because I'm like, yes, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that, and it's just rare that you feel that anyone comes in with complete objection to it. It's pretty much everyone feels the same thing. And these are all people that don't consider themselves psychics. They're just, that's what I felt when I watched, And a lot of times they're commenting before I even say anything, which is ideal because then that confirms not that I'm right, but that we're aligned on what we're all feeling. But we're also going to start bringing in some videos we haven't analyzed yet, and we'll analyze them in real time here. So please send us videos, tag us.
Yeah, I love to look at videos. It's amazing. I mean, look at how many we've already done, and yet there's probably thousands that I've looked at that I didn't feel were anything paranormal. So it's pretty interesting.
You can send us videos to my email. Send me the link. You can tag us on TikTok. On YouTube, now you can DM on YouTube. So you can DM me on YouTube also the link and any videos that you think maybe. For some reason, I feel like YouTube tends to have a lot more fake videos than TikTok. Would you agree with that?
I haven't spent as much time on YouTube lately since I've been looking for TikTok videos. Both places have fakes for sure.
Yeah. For some reason, YouTube just never, maybe it's my algorithm, was never showing me anything that was of value where you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. But whereas on TikTok, and I think, with the difference too with TikTok, people feel comfortable sitting and sharing these real stories. But we want to hear from you guys. Check out our live tab. That's where our live Q&A is. You can submit also via email for the live Q&A if you have a question. And of course, we do all kinds of work on Patreon. You have a 7-day free trial there. And you can watch all the videos that you can ingest in 7 days. And honestly, it's a wild ride over there. Like
It
you
is.
will open your third eye, you will remote view. It will be it's an incredible experience for sure.
Yeah, and we cover everything from haunted places to aliens and everything in between, all the psychic skill sets, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. And everyone joining in and
Mhm.
utilizing their skill set. Like we just did this incredible story that Harlow found about the it was not exorcist, but poltergeist. What was it?
Oh,
The
that was the Battersea Poltergeist.
Yeah, that was
The old
incredible.
one, yeah. And
That
then
was
we were all involved there.
Yeah, go watch. So Live Tab has live shows and Q&A here. Patreon 7-day free trial. Watch however much you can watch on Patreon, and then submit anything you got. Okay, you guys, we will see you in a week.